guest appearance here. Come on in. This is my son, Zack. My 15-year-old. He's hyper right now because he didn't have any school today. So he's excited. So several years ago on my Facebook page, he did a video of, see, yes, you're getting high, Zack, of him showing some of his Legos. And he's been so excited for how many likes he got. I'll have to go back and see if I can find it on my Facebook page and post it so you can see. So come on over to the video so they can see you. Tell them something you did today since you were home from school. What
Watch
did you
TV.
do? Yeah, watched a lot of TV. While Mom was working. Okay. All right. Say goodbye. You don't want to say goodbye yet?
I'm staying.
You can stay for a few minutes, but we're going to talk about meal planning. What's your favorite meal that we eat, that we cook at home?
Enchiladas.
Oh, yeah. We make some enchiladas that he really likes. So hello, everyone. Oh, yeah, look, somebody else remembers, too, when you did the video with me for the pumpkin fluff. Do you remember that?
No.
You did. We did a video together, and we made pumpkin fluff. It was like probably around, I don't know if it was around Thanksgiving time. So, well, everyone, welcome. I'm so excited that you're joining me for the meal planning workshop. Those of you who are watching this because you earned the bonus, congratulations. You posted 30 days of food logs. So I'm curious, tell me in the comments, are you still keeping your food log? I hope that you are, because so many of you said that was just such a game changer, so helpful in continuing to lose weight, to eat healthier, to recognize what you're eating, when you're eating, ugly tracking, all of that good stuff. So yeah, she said, I remember the pumpkin fluff video. I loved your enchilada recipe. There you go. Oh, lots of you are keeping food logs. I love it, because remember, we are going to check in with you at 1 month and 2 months and ask how you're doing. And that is going to get us through a lot of the holiday season. So keeping the food log is going to make a big difference. All right, you go. We got serious work to do.
Ouch!
You got serious work to do. Oh, so that's my son, Zack. That's my youngest out of our 5 kids. We have 5 kids. Okay, tell me in the comments, what was your meal planning personality? If you took the quiz, hopefully you took the quiz, what was your meal planning personality? So still on track 90%. That's awesome. It was a game changer. I love it. Had a couple ugly days, but still kept your food log. That is great. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for the ugly tracking. If you haven't seen it yet, I posted a new video on YouTube about ugly tracking. You guys are like the pros. I mean, the people who follow me on YouTube, a lot of them weren't in the fall challenge, and so they don't have any idea. They're like, what is ugly tracking? So you got to go in and post some comments on that video. I'll post it after this is over, but how important that tracking is, to be honest with yourself, why we're not honest with ourselves, and what a difference that makes. Okay, I see a bunch of you. I missed the quiz. Where can I find it? It's in the course on Teachable. There's a bunch of lessons in there. And this video replay, for those who couldn't attend live, I'll be putting that in the course. In the course, you can go when the video is over, is the quiz. So I'm seeing a lot of pants on fire. I'm seeing some dreamy, schemy. Okay, tonight's video is for you. We're going to walk through these worksheets. We're going to talk about simple, realistic meal plans that you can actually stick with. For those of you who did go through the lessons in the course, I hope that was some of the mojo that you were getting, that meal planning does not have to be hard. It does not have to be complicated. And in fact, I'm kind of cutting you off. Like, I don't want you to make it complicated, because what so often happens is we make these complicated plans, but then we don't stick with it. So it's making plans that we can realistically stick with. Okay, so I want to do some veggie prep for you so I can get them in the oven, and you can see what I do. And then we'll come back and we'll talk some more about the meal planning. We'll walk through some of the stuff that's in here. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm no Rachel Ray, but I just want to show you a couple of things that I do for meal prep that are super, super easy. So I'm going to move my camera just so you can see what I'm working on. Okay, so the first thing is I have a bag of cauliflower that was pre-chopped. I just got this at Walmart. I'm going to show you what I do with this. And then this was a head. I went ahead and sliced it just with my big knife. So I do my cauliflower. Some people call these cauliflower steaks. But the concept is just that I just take the whole head of cauliflower, peel off any of the like little extra green stuff, and I just slice the whole thing down. So that's what I did here. I just chop, 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 chop. And then I do a little bit of cooking spray on here, and then I just lay it on here, just like that. And then I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I don't really do a ton of seasoning. I might do some salt, but that's about it because I have a lot of seasoning mixes that I use, and I like to have the variety. So let me get this on here, and then I'll show you some of those. Okay, so this is one. It was a fairly small head of cauliflower. I just give it a quick little spray. Okay, I'm gonna pop that in the oven. We'll start with like 15 minutes. It'll probably take longer than 15, but I'm still here. My head is still here, but that'll give you an idea. Let me pull out to my seasoning mix as well. I'm thinking about it, and I'll show you those. So with the bag, this is actually what I've been buying a lot of lately, just because, I mean, yes, it costs a little bit more, but by the time you kind of cut off the stuff on the head of cauliflower that you don't need, I think you kind of end up about the same. So the thing with the bags is that sometimes you'll get big pieces, and then sometimes you get these really small pieces. When you're roasting vegetables, ideally, let me move this so you can see me a little bit more. Ideally, you really want pieces that are close to the same size because it just so that one doesn't burn while the other one is still raw. That, I would say, that is probably the one thing that is kind of annoying about roasting vegetables is you kind of have to pull out the stuff that cooks first before. So anyway, again, I'll use my cooking spray here. The small pieces, I just throw those on there, but the big pieces, you could take your knife and slice them. If I already have my knife out, I'll do that, but you know, honestly, I just break them. So I just kind of take it and break it into pieces that are about the same size. So then you can kind of see what I did there. So that is how I prep vegetables. I keep it really, really easy. Now, I have shared this with you before, but I want to share it again because this has been such a game changer for me with the whole concept of calorie density. I eat some type of vegetables to start almost every meal. And I think of it like my veggie appetizer. And so I'll prep kind of what I'm doing here, a couple cookie sheets worth. And that usually lasts me for several days of eating that for every meal, even if I have a snack. Sometimes I'll just, it sounds really weird, but I'll just go in there and just take like a few pieces of like the roasted broccoli and I'll just eat that. And then I'll have like my yogurt and peanut butter or whatever it is that I'm going to have. There's just something about the whole mental concept of it, but it really has helped me a lot with slowing down because I definitely struggled with eating really fast. I have learned to eat more slowly. And so when my hunger is really strong at the beginning of the meal, I've got that to kind of slow me down. It's very low in calorie density. If you remember the calorie density videos, I'm getting full. And so I'm thinking about eating in a calorie density way from lowest calorie density to highest calorie density. You can do some other things to get your vegetables in. It doesn't have to be roasted vegetables. Lots of people do salad. That's kind of the classic. Vegetable soup. I just don't really like raw vegetables quite as much. And for a while there, I wasn't digesting them that well. So that's why I do the roasted. But you can do what works for you. So, okay, I want to get these in the oven. So this is what my pre-chopped bag looks like. Almost identical to the fresh. So I'm going to put those in the oven. Okay, then the next thing I wanted to show you is I really like, these are from Walmart. So this is butternut squash cubes. You can buy a whole butternut squash. Ladies, don't do it. Hardly ever do it because it's such a pain. It's such a pain to cook raw butternut squash. I have done it occasionally, but what I really like about this Walmart brand, this is Market Side, is that the squash cubes are all the same size. So that's really nice for roasting because they're all going to get done at about the same time. There's some grocery store brand, other grocery store brands that have pre-chopped butternut squash, but they're all different sizes. So those work well if you're doing like a soup, but to roast them, you have to go in, like I said, and pull out the ones that are done first. So with this, I'm going to use my air fryer just so you can see that. So we have a relatively new air fryer. It's I love this thing. I don't know if I can move the cameras so you can see it. Oh, you can. Okay. So it's Ninja, and it is really, really nice. I'm going to put these in. And I'm putting these, this particular air fryer has a setting that's like air roast. So I'm going to put it in for that, which I think is, let's see, like 345 degrees. And I'll do like 15 minutes. It's probably going to take a lot longer than that, but then I can check them and turn them over. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm not going to do it right now just for the sake of being able to look at the camera, but I know a lot of you have heard me talk about my stir-fry coleslaw mix. So I take a bag of coleslaw, pre-cut, and these are like $1.80 or something. It's so inexpensive. I put the skillet on the stove to a relatively high heat, like medium-high heat, and then I just cut the top off, dump the whole bag in there, and let it kind of get brown and crispy. Turn it, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, let it get brown and crispy, take it off, done. That's all I do. And then this will be enough for meals for me for a couple days. So love it. That's one of the fastest things. Okay, so let me show you some of my seasonings that I use. Like I mentioned, I pretty much do everything like you just saw, just with a little bit of cooking spray so that it doesn't stick. You can even use like chicken broth or vegetable broth too if you don't want to use cooking spray. Maybe some salt. I didn't even do salt on these. And that's it. And then I season it at the table so that I can have a lot more variety. Love Old Bay. That is a little spicy. I do use this on seafood, but it's really good on vegetables. So I use that. I have again, spicy, like a Cajun mix that I really like. I don't have it in this particular container, but Mrs. Dash has 5 or 6 different blends that are really good. I like the Mexican type spice. I'll use that. I like sea salt in the grinder, so you get the bigger pieces. Yes, the air fryer is a Ninja Foodie. Well, I don't know if it's a Foodie. It's a Ninja. And I love it. We are on, I think, like our 3rd or 4th air fryer. We burn through them because we use it so often. My kids use it every single day. And we love this one. This is our favorite air fryer by far. Everything but the bagel seasoning. Any Trader Joe's seasoning are awesome. They're so inexpensive. The chili lime is really good. The chili lime on grilled pineapple is so good. It's so good. So that one, I picked up this one. This is like a Japanese spice at Trader Joe's. I actually don't really care for this one. So, but I know a lot of people really like it. This is another Trader Joe's. It's like a green chili mix. And then I do use True Lime. You can get the packets of this like at Walmart, the shakers. I believe I got on Amazon, but I do like those too. So those are just some of the mixes that I use. I'm always picking up different spice mixes just to shake things up and keep it interesting. Okay, I think I see squash. I know you don't like the squash. Not everybody likes squash. That's okay. Coleslaw mixes, many uses, even spaghetti noodles. Yeah, I'll eat. What did we have the other day? Oh, we had like a pulled pork with like the broth and barbecue sauce, and I had that over the stir-fried coleslaw because I just happened to have some on hand, and that was really good. The model of your Ninja, yeah, I can look it up and see. I can even go back and see, my husband ordered it, what exactly we ordered, and give you the link because I love this air fryer. Actually, let me look. I had the book in here at one time. Yeah, I do. It is. You're right. It is a Ninja Foodie. Okay. It is a Ninja Foodie Smart Dual Heat Air Fryer Oven. Okay, we got it. That is it. What I really like about it is it has like an air roast, an air fry feature. It has several different baskets, like a mesh basket and a flat one. Yeah, I've just loved this air fryer. It's been really great. So really good. Okay, what temperature for the oven? I did 400. I used to roast all my veggies at 350, but I actually think the higher heat is better. It gets them a little crisper, like that. If you like the brown crispy edges, like for like Brussels sprouts, I like those little brown crispy edges. I think the higher heat is actually better. Okay. Let's talk about meal planning. I want to challenge some of you a little bit because so many of you have said, oh, I don't really meal plan, or I start to meal plan, but I don't follow through. So I have a challenge for those of you who say, I'm just not a meal planner. We have so much going on. I never know when plans are going to change, or like I'll plan for a day or two, but I don't stick with it. I'm just really not a meal planner. Well, here's what I think about that. I actually think you are a meal planner. You have, when the day starts, you have some plan in mind for how you are going to get food into your body. My guess is none of us are going to bed hungry because we just couldn't figure out what we were going to eat that day. So if you say you're not a meal planner, I would say, actually, yes, I think you are a meal planner. You might not be doing your meal planning in the traditional sense of what we think of, but you are planning meals. I had to show you guys this. I think you're going to get such a kick out of this. So when my kids were in preschool, we put together one of those books where everybody shares their favorite recipes, and they put them together into the book as a fundraiser. So I'm showing my age because that's the year 2002, and I'm still using this book. These are the best recipes. I love looking at like old church cookbooks and stuff. So my friend Angie, this is what she put. She's so awesome. I love her honesty. So I don't know how well you can see it, but when you don't feel like cooking and it's like Blackjack Pizza, Pizza Hut, Papa John's Pizza, she listed all the pizza places that she orders from. She's like, seriously, I really don't cook. Thought that was great. But doesn't that show? I think that is such a perfect illustration that the truth is you do have some type of plan. So even if you plan a meal that you're going to cook at home and then you don't end up cooking it, you have something in mind. You're going to do something. You already know what it is. You're going to order DoorDash. You're going to go out. You're going to call your husband and say, hey, can you pick up a pizza on your way home? You're going to do fast food. Whatever it is, you do have some type of plan. So then my next question for you is that plan working for you? Because I don't want you to think that I'm trying to say you shouldn't eat out. Actually, you know that's not true because I gave you ideas of things that you can eat out that are healthier. So let me just ask you that. Tell me in the comments, those of you who are watching live, whatever your backup plan is or was, if you already did the video or did the lessons. I know we talk about emergency meals, but before that, when you were in the fall challenge and before you joined the fall challenge or wherever you're coming into this, if you end up not cooking that night and it's like a last minute thing, what was your plan? What was your plan that you were going to do? Or you probably have more than one plan. Share in the comments. Some of mine are frozen pizza, order pizza. We have a place here, Franco's Western New York. There's some really good pizza. We'll order wings from like a Buffalo Wing, Wild Wings, and have those delivered. There's a place where we pick up like beef sandwiches. So we have these ideas like if we were going to go out. Okay. So backup plan is veggie soup or order pizza, a sandwich, cereal, eggs, a sandwich, refried beans. Good for you guys. I'm glad that you have some backup plans at home. I'm thinking like order the pizza is the backup plan. Wendy's, Panera salad. Yeah, those are great options. Backup is hubby will go and pick up a meal from a soul food restaurant. I'll eat a frozen meal. That's great. So, so you've got some plans. Let's just be realistic. The things that you do for a backup meal, are they working for you? Are they fitting within your calories? Are they fitting within your points? If not, let's think about how we can come up with a better plan. And I want to encourage you too to be realistic with that. So if your current plan is we're going to go and order like a Pizza Hut pizza, could you have some frozen pizza options at home? Yes, frozen pizza is still high in points and calories, but it's probably a better option than if you get Pizza Hut. When you go to Pizza Hut, can you have a plan in advance for what you're going to order there that is maybe healthier? Let me see my cat trying to get in the door. Our family tonight had burgers and fries. That is like one of our common meals that we have. I had a turkey burger. I had it on a low carb like bun, and they had fries. I didn't have any of the fries tonight. I could do that. And I had broccoli, steamed fresh broccoli. It was a night I knew there was going to be a lot going on. I wanted to get my kitchen ready for you guys. So having that kind of plan. All right, let me check on our veggies, see how we're doing here. Okay, so that was 15 minutes. Yeah, these are going to need a lot longer. I'm going to give them another 15. Okay, I see getting a couple slices of pizza and a salad. That's great. I think that's a great option. Didn't have a plan and pulled out frozen burgers and rice with fresh tomatoes. Good job. Way to go. I love it. Panda Express. I used to eat Panda Express all the time. We don't have it here, but like I would get like the vegetables instead of the noodles, and then I'd get like a beef with broccoli or something really good. Always have the fixings of breakfast for dinner. That's awesome. Leftovers, canned soup, grilled cheese, sandwiches, chips and pickles. That's awesome. Trying to keep soups in the freezer, other healthy soups on hand. I think that's a great meal. A mushroom burger, spinach pie. Ooh, those both sound really good. Are those things that you cook yourself, or do you just buy like frozen ones? Those sound really good. Yogurt and berries, oatmeal, those are great options. Always you can fall back on eggs or order out. Brown rice, veggies, sesame garlic sauce, that sounds good. A steakhouse and split his grilled chicken and have a salad. That sounds really good. If I go to a steakhouse though, I'm getting a steak. You know, a sirloin steak is really not that different in calories and points compared to like chicken or salmon. It really surprised me because I always just thought, well, steak is going to be super high, super fatty, but sirloin steak is really very lean. So, okay. Don't really cook much, single person. I keep frozen foods that fit my calorie plan for the day. You know what? I think that's great. I think it's just so much better to be honest with yourself of like, look, I'm not going to cook. That's fine. You don't have to cook. There's nothing that says you have to cook, and especially if it's just for one person. Again, if it's working for you, it's really just if it's not working for you, then okay, how can we make a change? Heat a jar of marinara or spaghetti sauce and pour it over cooked spaghetti noodles and any veggies. Add toast. Love it. Frozen foods. At Pizza Hut, you can order a salad and a small pizza. Definitely. I think that's great. Frozen sweet potato fries from Costco. Ooh, that sounds good. We don't have a Costco here, but that sounds really good. Leftover veggies and chicken on a plain frozen pizza. That sounds great. Another go-to for me is a rotisserie chicken. If I can get them at Sam's, they're bigger, but I'll just get it from the grocery store too. We just kind of pull it apart and eat it. I think it's really good. I love like the chicken legs and stuff. So, okay, awesome. I love those. So, I want to walk through the workbook, and then I'm going to show you some little hacks and things that I really like. But as I'm going through the workbook, I would love to hear from you. Where are you getting stuck? Where are you getting stuck on your meal planning? What is not working for you? What are the times that you're just really not following your plan? You're going out to eat and you're ending up ordering like way more points or calories than you originally intended, or it just doesn't fit with your plan. You know, where are you getting stuck where like you're ugly tracking? This is your opportunity during this video. Let's really troubleshoot some of that and talk about ways that you can overcome that. I think it's great. Okay, so the burger and pie are from Whole Foods. Ooh, yeah, that's yummy. So those sound really good. I usually toss a bunch of frozen veggies and some cubed tofu on a baking sheet. I'm so glad you said that. I was going to pull out. Hold on, I'm going to get something out of the freezer. No, I don't have one here, but I will just take a bag. I took a bag of frozen broccoli tonight. And by the way, just a tip, when you're buying frozen broccoli, buy the broccoli florets, not the cut broccoli. Because if you buy the cut broccoli, you're going to get like one head and all the rest of it is like cut up stems. It's no good. But if you get the florets, then that's all it is. So we did ours in the microwave tonight. We just did steam fresh. But honestly, just open up your steam fresh bag or your bag of frozen vegetables, do your cooking spray, and put them in the oven exactly like what I just did. They turn out so much better than if you steam them. So just do that. Just do your frozen vegetables that way. I like Brussels sprouts that way, all kinds of stuff. So, okay, I see some places where you guys are getting stuck. We will talk about those. I can hear my air fryer sizzling over here. So let me give you a quick a view here. I'm just going to turn it over, give them a stir. These look really good. One thing I found with squash, it does take longer to cook. So I like to do it on a little bit lower heat, and so that it really more like roasts and caramelizes. So I've got that at 345, whereas like the cauliflower, I did at a higher heat, more of a 400, because it's not really going to take that long to cook. The only thing with broccoli too is it can get a little too brown around the edges. Like Brussels sprouts, those work a little better to caramelize and stuff, but broccoli can get a little overdone, so you just want to watch it. Okay, with the meal planning, let's look at your pages here. So the first page, I have you list when during the week you're going to do the different things. So tell me in the comments, were you basically already doing some of these things? Did any of it surprise you? I think just even as I was working on this plan, it helped me to realize that it's a process. So I think where some of us might be getting stuck is that we think we're going to meal plan in one day and then like be ready to go for the week. And at least the way it's worked for me, you can tell me in the comments if this is true for you. It's more like laundry. You know, laundry is like a process. And that's why I don't like it. That's why my husband does most of our laundry, because it's like gathering the clothes and then you got to sort them and then you got to wash them. And if you have a big family like mine, you're not going to get it all done in one day. Then you take it out and then you have to fold it and then you have to put it away. So it's like a multi-level process. Start to think about your meal planning that way. And each step doesn't have to take that long, but you need to give it a little bit of thought multiple times throughout the day. So are you starting your grocery list earlier in the week so that you can add things to it? Are you choosing your meals? Do you have your emergency kit meals? In the comments, if you've gone through the lessons yet, tell me what are your emergency meals that you're going to keep on hand all the time. I love this concept. It's like your backup plan. What is your backup plan? And some of you already mentioned that you use that this week. I think that's fabulous. The thing about the backup plan is it needs to be something that you can keep on hand all the time. So a lot of people say like, oh, the turkey chili, I love the turkey chili, I'm going to keep it in the freezer. I think that's great. I think that's a great backup plan, but let's be realistic. Are you always going to have turkey chili in the freezer? Maybe you can, but I'll tell you right now, I can't promise that. I don't know what's going to happen in life. And I think about like a couple years ago where I was so sick, I couldn't get off the couch. There was no making turkey chili. I mean, I was just surviving and we were eating off paper plates. So So there was not a way that I was going to make that. So for my backup meal, it needs to be something that I can just send my husband to the store, or I have it in the freezer. I do frozen shrimp. I do frozen tilapia. I do frozen vegetables. I shared some of my other ideas in there. I see a bunch of you sharing some of your meals, which is great. I'm going to give this a stir and cook these a little bit longer. So let me just get this started. I'm going to guess these probably just need like maybe 10 more minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Yep, shrimp and stir fry veggies. I love shrimp as a backup meal because, first of all, you can de-thaw shrimp by just running it under cold water for like 5 minutes. So even if you didn't thaw it in advance, you can thaw shrimp really fast. The other reason why I like shrimp for myself as a backup meal is it's a little more expensive and it feels more special. And so like, especially like if my family goes out and gets fast food, which really I do like, I just don't always eat with them if I don't have that within my calories or points for the day. But I don't feel so deprived if I'm eating shrimp because I'm like, oh, I'll suffer through eating shrimp. That's okay. So good ones. Okay, great. So the main thing with this is just to be thinking ahead. The other one that I think is a big deal, not for everybody, but for a lot of us, is when are you going to stop working and start cooking? Because if you're starting to think about dinner at like 6:30 at night, like right now it's 7:30-ish here, I can't be thinking about dinner at that time. I'm thinking about bed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Or, you know, what if there was something I was supposed to thaw or get out or prep? So it's thinking ahead of time, even if it's just a few minutes at breakfast. If you have some of those plans in place, you are so much more likely to follow through. So much more likely to follow through. Okay, so that's the idea with that one. The meal plan is just a printable meal plan. Like I said, you can use this. You can use the back of an envelope. Let me get mine. This is what we use for ours, for our family. It's just a little notepad. I put the link to it in the course. Just a little notepad with a magnet, and it's on our fridge. See? Hamburgers. I said we were going to have hamburgers tonight, and that's what we had. We followed our plan. Go me. The next page in your workbook is your grocery list. You can use this. I don't use this just because I do it online. We do keep a running list on the fridge just so the kids can write stuff on there. But what I really like about ordering is I just add stuff right to the list, like right into my Walmart app. So like on my phone, here, I'll just show you guys. So this is my Walmart app. I just add stuff right in there as I think of it, and I kind of always keep a running shopping cart. Like we got some groceries yesterday, and then now I have 2 things in my cart already because I was like, oh, well, I didn't get that, so I just add it right to my cart, and then it's like already in there. But you can certainly use this too if you prefer paper. That's completely fine. Okay, so the next page is okay. So I want to hear from you in the comments. How did you feel about the concept of I don't want you to use recipes? And I'm not saying don't ever use recipes. I was just saying if you're dreamy schemy or your pants on fire, I really don't want you to use recipes yet. Not to say that you can't use those. I mean, of course, I have a whole website full of recipes. You know, I love recipes. But I think that that's maybe getting a step ahead of ourselves when what would be better is meals that you can make with super simple without a recipe. Like I said tonight, hamburgers. There's no recipe. It was hamburgers, buns, frozen French fries, and steamed fresh broccoli. That was what we had. And that's really common. We probably have that once a week, once every other week. Everybody likes it. I like it. You know, I always have this, you know, pretty much always have the stuff on hand. So tell me how you felt about that. And I am going to check my cauliflower while you're sharing in the comments about that. Yeah, so these are starting to look really good. So I don't know how well it shows, but they're starting to get kind of brown and crispy. So you can kind of see these are looking really good. I'm going to put them in for a little bit longer. The cauliflower steaks, I guess maybe these take a little bit more care in that you flip them over more like a pancake. But again, these are getting nice and brown. Thanks, you guys, for doing this meal planning workshop because I'm getting all my veggie prep done. So I appreciate it. You're helping me out today. It's nice. And the butternut squash is actually starting to smell really good. Might have to have a little bit of that as my bedtime snack. All right, I'm going to pop these in for a few more minutes. And then I want to see some of your comments with what you're telling me. Okay, I think I cook that way about 85% of the time, and I think the person means without a recipe. I like making things without recipes. That's great. I love the idea as I panic and I get anxious about recipes, cooking new things, and overwhelmed with cookbook choices too many. Yes. See, that's what I'm thinking is that so many of us sort of go down the Pinterest rabbit hole where we start looking at recipes and then we click over to this and then we're like, oh, I've never heard of that, spice before. What is that? And then we go and Google that. And does Amazon even carry it? Does Walmart carry it? And then we're off on this rabbit trail when really it could be burgers and fries, which is really fine. So I think that's great. Okay, so somebody else said I get more anxious when it comes to not using a recipe. That's fair. Tell us more about that in the comments. I think I know why. I'm guessing you're going to tell us because you want the step-by-step directions, and I do totally understand that. But I'm curious, when you looked at this list, how did these feel for you? Did you feel like you could make these foods without a recipe, or did these make you nervous without a recipe? I like to cook simple sometimes and sometimes do a recipe, yeah. And I do use recipes too, like the enchiladas that Zack was talking about or the pumpkin fluff. I do recipes. But I think that if you're getting overwhelmed, if your pants on fire, this is the place to start. Not to say you can't do recipes, but let's start with the basics here. So there was another one I had wanted to read. Once a week, we do a new recipe, which I think is great. Oh yeah, simple meals, pasta, baked chicken, pork chops, winging it. Good with not using recipes. Okay, great. I think that sounds great. I wanted to go back and see, I know some of you were sharing about where you feel like you're getting stuck. Okay. For some reason, I feel like I need to make the recipes I have an abundance of for the meals in my meal plan. I want to plan with meals that are basic and easy to prepare quickly. Meats and veggies, eggs and bacon, etc. Got to get past this mindset of needing a lot of time to prepare recipes rather than easy chicken and broccoli. Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think it's just a mindset shift. And again, not that you can't do some of those things, but let's go back to the basics. And it's seasons of life too. I've definitely gone through seasons where I did lots of recipes. But I would say too, what I've shared with you guys, that I tend to be on the higher side of my hunger and food. Obsession is a strong word, but just really into food. Very sensitive to food, very easily triggered by food. It's good and bad. I like to cook. I can cook pretty well. And I do enjoy looking at recipes. And sometimes I think that's a real advantage that I have, that I am so interested in food. But I think that's also been a disadvantage because my mom used to say, she would say oh, I could sit down and read a cookbook the way some people do a novel. She just loved looking at recipes and food. And I do too. The other day when I pulled this out, because I remembered that my friend Angie had this thing in here, I started looking at the recipes and all of a sudden I'm like Parmesan pull-aparts, banana bread, calico beans, meatballs. All of a sudden I'm half an hour has passed and I've been in this little food obsession mental coma thing. What am I doing? I need to get back to what I'm supposed to be working on. So I think it's just good to have those meals that you don't need to sort of go down this whole rabbit hole if you don't need to. And again, season of life. I'm in this season of life where I've got some kids who are kind of picky and I'm busy working on some other things. I don't really want to spend a lot of time cooking. So I'll do maybe once a month, once every couple months, I'll do a big freezer cooking and use some recipes then. But otherwise, I just keep it pretty simple. And, honestly, even my freezer batch cooking, I do a big thing of meatballs, which I have that recipe memorized. That's on my website, by the way, if you want that. I think I put it in the course too. It's called like ground beef 6 ways. I need to check my butternut squash too, because I think it might be almost done. So yeah, I know there were a couple other places where you were saying you were getting stuck. So these look so good, you guys. Look, this looks so yummy. So I will just eat these. I will have some of this tomorrow morning, probably with my eggs. This and like some spinach and some like scrambled eggs or over easy eggs is really, really good. Or I'll have it like with my lunch tomorrow. I think I've got a turkey meatball in there that I was going to have for lunch tomorrow. So I'll just throw it in like with this cauliflower. I'll just get a little bowl and I put the cauliflower in there, the butternut squash, reheat it in the microwave for like 30 seconds and I'm ready to go. Okay, I'm looking at, I get tired of my cooking. Yeah, I understand. And I think that's where it's helpful too to have some of these meal ideas, just for some variety. But again, we don't want to just get so stuck looking at recipes that we kind of go down good intentions. Or, we kind of go down the hole. Okay, so it says, I have great intentions. I plan, I buy my groceries, but then my mood changes and I don't want what I planned. I waste a lot of food. Okay. I am so glad you said that because this is a really good point. There are a couple thoughts that you can go down with this. Tell me in the comments, do you struggle with this? You end up not being in the mood for what you planned. I'm kind of 2 minds about this. And so tell me in the comments if you're somebody who does this. And I've totally done this. I've had meals that I bought the stuff and I wasn't in the mood for it. I stuck it in the freezer and then like 3 rounds go through that I don't really want it. And I'm like, why did I even, buy it? So I have 2 minds about this. One is you kind of put something on your meal plan that you don't really like that much. Because if you really liked it, you would have been like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. I got to make that one first. So that's one possibility is maybe you picked it because you thought you should, because it was healthy or it was low in calories, or you feel like you should eat it. Like, oh, I should eat salmon because it's a healthy fat, but maybe you don't really like salmon. Or I should eat like grilled chicken breast, but really my chicken always turns out dry and I'd really rather have a chicken leg. So that's one mind. The other is that you're still giving in to food cravings. So it's also possible that that's your toddler brain that is saying, well, I don't want that. I want pizza. Or I don't want that. I want, to pick up a fast food burger because I just saw the triple bacon burger with the large fries and I know I'm going to get the milkshake. So that would be more of a toddler brain issue. So let me know in the comments where you think you are with that. I think I've done both in my lifetime. Sometimes my plans were unrealistic and sometimes it was giving in to food cravings. The big thing with food cravings, with understanding, of course, we've worked on toddler and adult brain so much, is also just remembering that every time you give in, you're going to make it harder for next time, because when you give in, you're reinforcing it. So I've been using that thought a lot lately to remind myself, like, okay, Sarah, you can give in to the craving this time because, I'm human. Sometimes I do. You guys know I do. I've shared like I overeat chocolate and different things. But it helps sometimes to remind myself, like, well, if I give in now, next time it's going to be even harder. And sometimes that's just enough to keep me on the path of where my adult brain really wants to go. Okay. I think when I get home from work and don't feel like it. Okay, so that's really similar. Breakfast and lunch are easy. Pack it and take it with me. Yes, you don't really have that many choices. So that is so true. Also keep in mind with that nighttime, first of all, your willpower is less. Your willpower is it's like you have a certain amount of willpower for the day and it runs out. So save it for the times when you really need it. And then also maybe you're just not being realistic with your plan because maybe you're tired. So maybe you need to plan something that's easier when you're already tired, or just you like more. Like maybe, like I said, like a grilled chicken salad, let's say, and you're like, oh, that doesn't, I know I should, but it doesn't really sound good. When maybe like the burgers and the baked fries, like you would really look forward to that. So make sure it's meals that you actually really want to eat. There is no point in cooking or prepping anything that you really don't like that much, because trust me, you're not going to eat it. You're going to order a pizza. That's what I would do. So Okay, so another person said the exact same thing. I do really well in the morning and for lunch, and then I blow it in the evening or at social events that I'll tend to have, and then I start again tomorrow. Yes, and we worked on this, didn't we? So ugly tracking, tell me in the comments. I commit to ugly tracking. The other thing that I am learning so much with myself, and you tell me in the comments if this is you, I still have to be so intentional to eat enough during the day. So now when I work with people like one-on-one with coaching or members in our Faithful Finish Lines program, if they tell me that, one of the first things I'll say is, tell me what you ate during the day. And maybe it is everything that you planned, but you're not planning enough calories during the day. So this is where I'm going to ask, did you divide your calories or your points by 4? Are you eating a quarter for breakfast, a quarter for lunch, a quarter for dinner, and a quarter for snacks? A lot of us still aren't. And this was a big thing that I saw with food logs. Gotta say it, but especially you Weight Watchers people. I get it because I'm a Weight Watchers person. I mean, I was seeing tons of 0-point breakfast, 1-point breakfast, 2-point breakfast, which I know you could still potentially be getting enough calories because, like, let's say you were eating like eggs and fruit or something, but still, I just feel concerned about that because there's just still a really good chance that you're not eating enough calories. Keep in mind too, well, not eating enough calories earlier in the day. Keep in mind too that that's when your body needs the calories. At night, like right before you go to bed, you don't so much need the calories. You need it to fuel you during the day. And I know this is a shift and I know this is hard because in our culture, we tend to eat more at dinner. That's just, Gabrielle and I were talking this morning. We met this morning for a business meeting. We were talking about, we both grew up with like meat, potatoes, bread and butter, maybe a dessert too. We had these hearty meals and it was like you could come home from a long day. My dad worked in a factory. He worked in Caterpillar. So it was, like I worked this long, hard day and I want to come home and have like this meal to satisfy me. But he also burned the calories to justify the meal. Whereas my body doesn't need that many calories at the end of the day. I already did most of my work. And if I eat the calories earlier, I have the energy to do more and actually end up burning more calories. Okay, let me get my cauliflower out. And then I want to show you guys some fun stuff. This looks awesome. That looks so yummy. I don't know how well you can see, but it is like brown and crispy. So good. It looks really, really good. So like I said, thank you. Thank you for having the meal planning workshop. You made my day easier. I appreciate it. So I think we got through almost everything in the workbook except for I gave you some examples of emergency kit meals and you shared with me in the comments what yours is going to be, which is great. You can refer back to this anytime you want. You have ongoing access to the course, so you can always come back to it. And some healthier fast food and takeout meals. Any other suggestions in the comments? Let us know. What are some other suggestions you have for fast food meals, restaurant meals, takeout meals that are healthy? Lower in points, lower in calories. What do you order when you go out? And then I just wanted to see, I think I got most of those comments of what people were struggling with. Okay, great. Okay, you commit to ugly tracking. I love it. I tend to not eat as much for breakfast and lunch and save more for dinner. It's a hard habit to break, right? I know. I've shared with you guys. I was a points hoarder. I mean, that was how I started Weight Watchers big time. So I would eat like my 1-point breakfast, which at the time was like egg whites and vegetables or something crazy. And then I would have like this tiny little lunch with like the vegetable soup and maybe a small sandwich with diet bread. And then I had all these points left over for night. But then what did happen? Tell me in the comments. You've heard my story. I was like binging and snacking all night long. And then I went way over my points and calories. And it's just not a healthy, balanced way to eat. And so I have had to train myself. And it's been a process over time to gradually shift. And if you're in those habits right now, you can go cold turkey if you're brave and you want to try it. But what might work better is try to shift like 1 point at a time or, 100 calories at a time. So if right now you're eating like a 200 calorie breakfast, a 200 calorie lunch, Could you shift it so it's a 300 calorie breakfast, a 300 calorie lunch, a 3 or 4 point breakfast instead of a 1 to 0 point breakfast? You know, move it along gradually. Okay, I want to make sure I share before we run out of time. These are a couple of the things that I shared in the lessons in the course, but I wanted to show you. So these are called super cubes, and they are a little bit, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on the Supercube website. These are the bomb. I love these. I'm not an affiliate for them or anything. I'm just telling you because I really like them. I looked at them for a long time because they're kind of pricey, and I asked for a set for my birthday. Love. So they have a plastic lid. They go in the dishwasher. I think you can even bake in them, actually. Like people like bake like little mini meatloaves and stuff. So what's so cool about these is there is like it must be like a metal wire through there that holds this taut, but then these pop out. So what you do is you put something in there like the meatloaf, soup, casseroles, whatever you want to freeze. And then once it's frozen, you pop it out, and then you can store these little like soup, what's the word I'm looking for? Like ice cubes in your freezer, and then you've got it to use again. So here is a soup that I made. I'll pull it out so you can see it a little better. So it's like this little frozen block of soup, but it's just the right size. So this is probably, this one I used the larger one. They come in different sizes. So it's this right here. And so like those of you who like to do the chili or the vegetable soup, I would guess this is enough for 2 meals for me, maybe, probably, yeah, for just myself, like for a lunch, for this larger one. So the sizes it comes in, oh, and these can go in the dishwasher too. It comes in this large one, this medium-sized one, and then there's a little one. I have not used the little one as much. I've seen examples and ideas where they'll do like little individual things of pancake mix. You can do muffins. You can save little bits of things. Like if you have like pumpkin left over from a recipe and you want to freeze individual ones, you can freeze individual things for smoothies. So that's what the little one is for. Oh, cookie dough. I saw the lady who created these puts cookie dough in there. I'm like, yeah, the cookie dough doesn't last in my house, even in the freezer, trust me. So, but that's what the little ones are for. So these are called super cubes. I put the link in the course. You can get them on Amazon. I love them. They are kind of pricey, but I think they are great. I just wanted to show you really quickly. This is just a little thing, but I have these little Pyrex dishes, and they come with lids. And I am a big, when I started learning to eat more mindfully, I will save my leftovers, even if it's just a few bites. In fact, hold on, I'll show you. Okay, this is funny. I can't believe I'm showing this to you guys on a live video, but whatever. It's the truth. So this is my eggs from this morning. There's like some coleslaw mix in there and like 3 bites of egg, which I know it seems kind of funny, but it's still hard for me to throw away food, but I will eat this. So like actually tonight, when I have my bedtime snack, I might eat this, like if I'm still hungry. So I'll just save a few bites, and these seem to be like just the right size. The other thing I like about these is you can bake with them. So like some people do the, on the 3-day diet, the banana souffle, where it's like 2 bananas and 2 eggs. We'll bake them in this. So you can do that. You can do, like I've got a recipe on my website for mug cakes. You can do those. And then it does come in a larger size too, but I usually just use this smaller size. So those are just little Pyrex dishes. I think I put the link in there. You can get them on Amazon, but there's just something about the size that's so convenient. And then we love this set. So these are just like your, Rubbermaid type containers, but can anybody else relate to like you have a million billion containers and you can never find a lid? That's how ours were, like the lids overflowing down there. This is where we keep our keep our stuff in here. So we pretty much have traded out to all these because they come in 3 different sizes. So this is a little one. So 1 bag of steamed fresh vegetables will fit in here. 4 or 5 meatballs, I guess, would fit in here. Like if I cook like a spaghetti squash or something. And then there's a medium size, and then there's a large. So, but what's so great is they all use the same lid. So even though it has 3 different sizes, it's all the same lid. I love these containers. We use them for everything. So I'll show you now. So like, keep in mind, we have a big family. So we have all these different containers now because we just kept ordering them. We were like, forget not being able to find the lid. So I put the link for those on Amazon too. So love those. I think that's the main stuff that I wanted to share with you. Let me double check if there was anything else. If you have any other areas, someone had mentioned in the comments about struggling with the treat box. I'm not going to be able to address that today. I really wanted to focus on meal planning today, but I am going to have a course really similar to this one that is going to come out that's just treat box. That's all it is. It's going to have replays of the videos where I talked about treat box. It's going to have the printables. I'm actually going to do a few additional printables, like a coupon that you can put in there and like a now and not yet list, and kind of walk you through some of that. So just be watching for that if you're still struggling with the treat box a little bit. Also at Faithful Finish Lines, we can help you with that too. We have a whole like healthy boundaries thing in stage 1 that we help our members with. So Sarah, you're asking where the links are. They're already there. They're in the meal planning course in Teachable. So yeah. So I think that is good. Do you pre-plan and prepare any proteins? Yeah, more so when I do the meal prep. I'll do that. So like I made it the last time I did. So when I say meal prep, I just mean like when I do, I guess you'd call it freezer cooking, where I do a big batch. This last time I did turkey meatballs. And so I did a ton, like a ton. I did those. Like we did meatloaf and stuff for the family at the same time. Trying to think of what else. A lot of stuff I more just do fresh though. I did also want to say, I am a very big fan of the meat thermometer. So you can just buy these like for a couple bucks at your grocery store or on Amazon. This has definitely helped me with making my lean proteins not be so dry. So I do a lot of broil now for my meats. So I will like broil chicken breasts. I will broil pork chops. I will broil steak. That's very high heat and it's going to sear the outside, and you just want the inside to just doneness and not past it. So I think that's part of why I do my proteins more fresh. But the other thing I will do is when I cook protein, like when I cook pork chops, we usually get the family pack. My family will eat it for the dinner that night. And then there's usually like 4 or 5 left over, and I'll eat that for my lunch for the rest of the week, for example. So, okay. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up for tonight. I think that was the main things I wanted to share. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for telling me what's working for you. You can continue to come back to the meal planning course. It will always be available to you. You can leave comments. I check in on those. Of course, if you have specific questions about anything that you saw today, don't leave it in the comments. Email me, sarah@theholymess.com, just because I don't want it to get lost. Sometimes things, there's just so many comments. And so if you email us, then we'll be sure to respond. So let's just wrap it all up while we're here. We got to do it together. Type in the comments, I can do hard things. Tell me that I can do hard things. Tell me adult me drives the car. Adult me drives the car. And I am worthy. Type in the comments, I am worthy, because you are. You are so worthy. You are so valuable. This journey is so worthy, and you are so worthy of the effort that the journey takes, because I know that it is not easy. I know that it is hard. It is a hard thing. You are doing a hard thing. Please know that you are not alone. I've missed our fall challenge too. Those of you who are here, I've missed our group too. It was so wonderful, and I can't wait until we have another challenge experience and can do it together. But you are so worthy of that. You are worthy of all the time that it takes. And let me just encourage you that life at goal weight is pretty awesome. And so that is really worth it too. It is worth the investment. And more than just being at goal weight, being healthy, being fit, being able to get out and do all those things that you want to do, that is so worthy. So, and being all God has called you to be. So thank you so much for being here. This was our meal planning workshop. I love doing it with you. I'm glad you could come and visit me in my kitchen, help me cook my vegetables. And I'm so proud of you, how hard you're working, all the progress that you're making. I see it. I see the progress you're making. I see you doing hard things. And I'm so proud of you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.